Kia ora, good evening. So, I've been giving it some thought about the RomCom, the situation at the race course, and what's going to happen with the attempted assassination of King Rupert. Remember I said that the guy that he was with, the German, I said I was going to make him German, he was going to slip something in the king's drink. And I was thinking it could be like belladonna or something. So what I was thinking was the villain, they're at the Royal Ascot, they're at the races, all of that, there's champagne flowing and that, and this visitor, this guest of King Rupert's, is going to offer a bottle of his drink, and pour the king a glass and, wait for him to drink it. And then, of course, what was supposed to happen was the king was supposed to, feel dizzy and all of that. And with the sleight of hand, while they were tending to the king, they were going to remove the ring from the king's finger. The king has this ring, and it's going to be like Lord of the Rings in the fact that he who holds the ring wields the power. And this German, this bad guy, wants to be king. So what's going to happen is when he's poured the poison, just as he's about to drink it, that's when she's going to do her thing, and the horses will freeze, and then the deceased queen will come up on the big screen and say "asp," and he'll know immediately not to drink it, and he puts it down and grabs his family and off they go, and panic ensues and blah blah blah. And then of course when it hits the news that this thing happened and hits social media, everybody goes through all the footage and they see the German, the Nazi, slip something into the drink, or no, it was gonna, he was gonna slip something into the drink originally, but then I was thinking he could have like a bottle of cognac or a bottle of champagne or something that's his, like it's his. He's bought it as a gift. Like, while we're here, let's have a bottle of my potion sort of thing, and it could be cognac or champagne or sherry or something like that, be in an ominous bottle. And people are going to notice, just as the king was about to drink it, nobody else took a drink, or that the only people that took a drink were the royal family, or they saw him slip something into the drink, like it's going to be caught on camera, like the whole Charlie Kirk thing, all caught on camera. People are going to look at it and go, hang on a minute, how come King Rupert was the only one that was going to have a drink, like King Rupert and his son and his daughter-in-law and blah blah blah, but not anybody, like nobody else lifted their glass? And then they'll put two and two together, like, oh my God, asp. And it's all so that when the king fell, when he took his dizzy spell, they could remove the ring from his finger. And then of course, he'd be dead, sort of thing. And then it would be, I have the ring, I wield the power, I am the king, blah blah blah. Because once you put this ring on your finger, it'll be like the magic in the ring, like Lord of the Rings, the magic in the ring, except the magic is in the ring. It'll be in the seal of the ring. And it is said that whoever wears the ring, whoever can put the ring on his finger, reality changes to the kingdom that he wants. So, if he's like a dark overlord, then the kingdom that he wants will be like, a dark overlord kingdom. But if he's like, just like animals and nature and rainbows and fluffy clouds and all that sort of thing, that's the kingdom you want. Whoever wears the king wields the power, and whoever wields the power, it's like how do I explain it? Like a wiping of the existence of the kingdom of the previous king, and the kingdom that you want, being the wearer of the ring, is the kingdom that you create. So, because we're talking about someone who wants to kill King Rupert and take over the reign of being king, and he's evil and he's dark and all of that, then his kingdom will be evil and dark and, you know, um, like hell on earth, basically. So yeah, so whoever wears the ring wields the power, and it's like if he put the ring on his finger, and she will tell the story about the ring, the magic of the ring, and how the kingdom that you get from the king who wears the ring is all based on the nature of the king itself. So if the king is good natured and kind and all of that, then the kingdom he creates will be bountiful and full of animals, and, you know, like I said, like fluffy clouds and rainbows and that sort of thing. But if the king who wears it is dark and murderous and twisted and evil and sinful and that, then that's the kingdom that he's going to create. So yeah, so that's gonna be what it is. I mean, that was one of two options: either slip something into his drink, and then it's caught on camera. Either way, he's caught and arrested because of what the people catch on camera. By her drawing attention to the big screen and resurrecting, you know, the spirit of the deceased queen and all of that, it draws everyone's attention and draws everyone's focus and causes a big enough distraction that the villain doesn't get away with what it is he's trying to do. So then when people are looking back at everything, they're going, hang on a minute, that villain, I need to come up with a name for him. He slipped something into the king's drink, and the queen said asp, and that means poison, so don't drink the drink, it's poison. Or, you know, he's going to offer the drink, and people are going to notice the king and his daughter or whatever were the only ones about to take, like nobody else was touching that drink. When the queen said asp, she was talking about, you know, the drink that the villain gave. So yeah, so there's one or two ways I can go around it, but it's basically whatever it is he's trying to do, whatever it is that he's put in the drink, it's so that when the king falls, when he gets dizzy and that, and he falls and hits the ground, in the kerfuffle and the mayhem and all that, they're able to take the ring off his finger and then hand it to the guy who wants to be king. And then he would quickly put it on his finger, and then within like minutes, the old kingdom is washed away and the new kingdom is created based on the nature or the weight of the conscience of the king who wears the ring. So that's how it's, but she saves them she saves the king just in the nick of time. And then of course, obviously, when she's telling John about the myths and all of that, and explains why she did it, and you know, the power of the ring, the state of the kingdom is controlled by the king who wears the ring, like Lord of the Rings and that, but you know, a bit more extra. So the ring will have like a special seal on it, and yeah, as soon as you put it on your finger, you create the kingdom based on the goodness of your soul. So it wouldn't have been a very good one. So anyway, that's kind of where I am with that. I still haven't come up with like a fairy story, and I'm thinking I might call, remember I said I was going to call the ancestor Sarah? I think I might call her Abigail. It's kind of, yeah, I think I might call her Abigail. Abigail Kelly. And it's the Kelly curse. So yeah, that's where I am so far. So I've got to go now, but I shall speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.